Time questions. Coach, please.
So, I mean, I thought second half was much better. First half we were up obviously 14 at break, but just felt like, they kind of were getting what they wanted. We had we got off to a good start again, much like the Drake game, and I thought we lost focus, lost intensity, and we were able to score and keep separation, but it felt like they were just, getting whatever they wanted to. Now, they didn't make everything, but they got a lot of good looks. I thought, second half, we talked about it at halftime, we did change the scheme, but it wasn't the scheme. It was the effort to execute the scheme that was the issue. And thought our effort in the second half was much better. We got our hands on a lot of balls. We got a lot of deflections. I thought our pace was better offensively. I thought, we were flying around. I thought we really, did a good job on the defensive glass until late. Late, we got a little bit sloppy there, obviously. But, and then it was good to obviously get our guys minutes. Get the bench in and hold Robbie. Robbie played 21, I think, and Jason 23, and it was great to see. Eli and Derek. Obviously, sucks. JD was sick, and so he wasn't able to get some minutes tonight. But get some of those younger guys. Get Aaron Gray extended run, some Jake Wolf back, some extended run, and we're looking to certainly one of the things we want to do down the stretch is build some depth. On the bench, and those guys, like we talked about. Those guys with the bench have to come in and defend and rebound and take care of the ball and take good shots. And if they can do that, there's a pathway to find playing time. I thought Mason gave us good minutes as well. So all in all, walk out of here happy with the second half. Thought we got a lot to learn from, take away from this game. And but Valpo's got a good young team. They compete, and it's a good win for us here at home. I thought we did a lot of good things to create that kind of margin.
Questions, please. Coach, most points at the Holman Center this year, second most on the season. How is that coming into this environment? The past 3 games really have been electric.
Yeah, I think the crowds have been really good. We've created, and I say we, I think the players. I haven't done anything, but the players and the fans have created. As good or the best home court advantage in the Valley. I don't think there's a better place right now in terms of, fan support, atmosphere, those type of things. And ultimately, you want that as being a part of a program. I mean, you want your place to be the hardest place in the league to come in and play for opponents. And our guys, they feed off that energy. I think it's it kind of infuses them. Tonight. It wasn't like it was against Drake where, willing us to it or trying to will us to it. But it was, I thought when we lost a little energy, the crowd was there, and they kind of, when we went on runs, I thought that energy helped us. And certainly we want the Holman Center to be the hardest place in the Valley to play. And I think we're trending that in a pretty good direction. A league where there's a lot of good home court advantages.
Coach, did you see what was the impact from Jabo today when he got in the game? I know you went to about 6 minutes into the game. What did you see from him and his impact? What was that?
Yeah, I mean, he was good. We wanted to, we wanted to go in and have some switching 5 lineups and switch everything because they're dangerous. Seppin only made 3 threes all year, but we knew he could shoot. He's 3 for 6, and obviously Schwieger is a pick and pop big. So they play 2 bigs, but both bigs can really shoot. So it does put you in a quandary. And so I thought Jabo gave us really good minutes, 10 points, 7 rebounds in 14 minutes. Stepped right in, made 2 huge threes to create some separation. Thought he boxed out well. Thought he guarded well. I thought the switching 5 lineup, gave them some difficulties. I thought that was probably our best in terms of defensive group. We tried some different things in the first half, and we weren't. Again, I don't know if it was schematics. It's hard to tell because I didn't think the effort behind the schematics was good enough, but our switching 5 group was the best thing we did, and I thought both halves he came in and played very well. But those 2 threes early, gave us some separation and gave us some cushion there, and we kind of lost our focus to, they never really cut too deep into it.
You said you didn't entirely get the full 40 minutes you wanted, just spurts, but you built a double-digit lead early and really never let Valpo in the game as a first-place team. Just how important was that to never give an underdog here really any momentum tonight?
Well, we knew coming in. I mean, they just had lost a 1-point game to Evansville. They were in the Drake game all the way in Des Moines. They lost by 11. At Drake. I mean, we certainly, I think, had a respect for them. And then we came in, and I thought early we played with good urgency, and I thought our activity level was good, our pace was good. We were playing with force, and then we have back-to-back possessions. We break down on switches, and they worked their way back in. But I agree. I think that cushion we created early when we had, I thought, our lull. They never could really. I think they got it to 10, maybe was the lowest, 10 or 9. And then we were able to to keep it. We were able to score well enough, and they missed probably some looks that they normally make. And we're up 14 at half. But I think when you look at defense, I think there's quantitative and qualitative, right? Like so quantitative would be the numbers, and you're saying, oh, they shot 41%, and they're qualitatively they were getting pretty good looks. We weren't guarding them very well at all. Second half, we made them miss. There's a big difference in somebody missing and making somebody miss. I thought the urgency level, and we came out in the second half, and I thought that first 10 minutes was about was exactly how we want to play. The level of urgency, the level of focus, the level of discipline. I thought we were eons better, and it wasn't anything to really do. Even though, like I said, we changed the ball screen scheme, it was really much more of just how hard we were playing, how connected we were playing, and our defense, as always, fuels the offense, because when we're getting turnovers or we're forcing misses, now we can get in transition. And for us, transition with this group, that's where we're at our best. It amplifies the speed and the skill that those guys have.
A big part of that second half run was Robbie, about as efficient as you get, 10 of 12. Not only his movement, but the way the guys were finding him. Just talk about Robbie's offensive game tonight. Yeah,
I mean, I think it was one of those ones where, he was terrific, and he got in the seams, which we've been on him about, mixing. He's such a good shooter that he can fall in love with popping. But he's also, 6'10", 240 with great hands. And their coverage, their ball screen coverage, the way they do it, those seams are available. And so I thought our guards did a great job of finding him. I mean, he got a lot of no-dribble layups where he caught it in the pocket and was able to convert. But you got to still catch it and convert. He missed his easiest shot of the night to start the second half on the punch over the top for the wide-open layup. I told him, Coach, we can only do so much. I mean, we can't, we can lead a horse to water. But no, he's special. And to get 27 and 8 in 21 minutes, his hands in the pocket, his ability to finish with either hand, he was fantastic. I thought his ball screen defense in the second half was really, really good as well. We took him out, and at the time he went out, he asked for a blow, and I thought we would go back in, but we just opened it up with that switch 5 group, and he was fantastic. His he makes it look easy, but it's not. It is very hard to do what he's doing on those rolls, catching, finishing, and like I said, the dexterity and the coordination to have that at 6'10" is very rare. And our guards did a great job of finding them, so credit to those guys. Julian in particular, a lot of those assists were robbing that pocket.
Coach, Isaiah Stafford on their team, leading scorer 17 a game, 0 for 8 tonight. You probably know that, 0 points, 25 minutes. Anything you're seeing from that match and what your guards were doing with them?
I thought early on we came in. I mean, to me, their transition and your ball screen defense against Valpo is the two biggest things. You got to be able. They play fast. You got to be able to get back and get matched. They hurt you in transition, and then they're really gifted off the ball screens, and they're hard because you got Stafford and DeVario and Williamson, all these guys who can shoot coming off it. They can score all 3 levels, and then the bigs, Sepp, particularly in Schwieger, can step behind and shoot. So they really put you in a quandary. I thought we did a nice job of, everything we did the first half, and really the whole game was to try to, limit Schwieger's open threes and limit those. We were able to take, him off the 3-point line. He was 0 for 5. He probably had some he could have made. Certainly we had some breakdowns where he just missed, but though we did a good job, and really the same thing with Stafford. I thought he only got 8 attempts. Watched him get 30-plus against Illinois, 32 against Drake. I mean, he's a guy who can really get going. I thought we did a good job, for the most part, of contesting his, at least making him hard. And, that's all you can do with a great player. He's a terrific scorer, so just try to make him as hard as he can. And I thought, he missed probably 1 or 2 that he normally makes, and then the rest I thought we did a good job of making him shoot over a contest.
You've been really good on the road in MVC play. It's no secret ISU struggles over the years at Missouri State. You got a big challenge ahead of you Saturday. Talk about that challenge.
Yeah, it'll be, my 2 years, we've never won there. I think we lost last year by 2 there. I think 9 my first year. They're playing really well. I don't know how they did the night with Northern Iowa, but going into the night, they've won 4 straight from, and I think 5 out of 6, with the one loss being here. So, I mean, it's a good team. They're talented. Dana does a really good job with them. They're big and physical. It's a hard place to play. They're a unique team with just how slow and how physical they play. It's a crowd that, I don't know, we'll see on Saturday, but it's usually not, the most amped up atmosphere there. So you got to kind of bring your own energy. And they're just good. I mean, they're well coached. They got good players. This league, I taught the guys about this. We talk a lot about, competitors' mindset versus observers' mindset. An observer's mindset, these last 8 are just, basically all gimmies. You don't even have to play. I mean, it's just almost guaranteed you're just going to win them because whatever record is or whatever it is. And obviously that's a ridiculous notion, but that's how people feel, like all our hard games are behind us. There's a lot of hard games ahead of us, and every single one we got to earn in between the lines. And tonight you got to come out and you got to earn it, and it's going to be no different. I think Saturday will be as hard a road test as we've had this year, and I say that having gone to, at least in the Valley, having gone to Drake and Bradley, all those places. Going to Missouri State's not any easier. It's a hard place to play. They got a good team. We'll have to play as well as we played all season. But like you said, last 2 years, I think we're 11-5 in the Valley on the road. I think our guys enjoy playing the road and challenging themselves, and we better be ready to go Saturday 1:00, and I think we will be.
Coach, you're going up against Coach Powell in this game. He's been to the national championship as a player, with Illinois national championship in 2021 with Gonzaga as an assistant head coach. But how do you go up against a guy who's known his way around the NCAA Division I level?
Yeah. Well, the only benefit is that I didn't have to play Roger Powell for the game, because my career, while stellar at the NAIA D2 level, was not quite as decorated as Coach Powell's. I remember watching his teams at Illinois. Those guys that was one of my favorite teams to watch. In this, it's player on player. I mean, the coaches, we have very little to do with the outcomes of the game. I mean, we coach our teams, and ultimately, we try not to lose the game for our players, but the players are the ones who go out and win them. I think what I will say is I think Rogers, he's building a good program. Tonight notwithstanding, they've been very competitive. Their improvement from November to February has been significant, and he's doing a really good job. You could tell he's building a culture that takes time, and he's going through that process. But as you said, he's seen success. He's been to 2 national championship games. I counter that because Graves also was in 2 national championship games, so I was able to balance that out. I just used Graves against him. We were they wore each other out. But only difference was Powell went well over 1,000 points. Little known Matthew Graves fact: Matthew Graves finishes Butler career 994 points, just 6 points shy of 1,000. He blames it. I'll just tell you, he blames it on his coach, but I don't know. We'll have to go back in the black and white era and see what that looked like when he played. They didn't have any video then or synergy or anything, so it's just black and white reels. But we'll see. We'll see.
Last question I asked the guys, they were getting in to have Jaden, and they wanted him to get that bucket. He got that steal, and he wanted the foul. They called a travel. I saw you talking to the ref. I saw him talking to the ref. I mean, do you think he got fouled there? Did he not get the call?
I was pretty sure he got fouled. I thought he stole it, and he was dribbling into a crowd, and I thought he got bumped. But I'm also probably biased being his dad and his coach. So we were trying to get him a bucket. We were actually, the last 45 seconds, I think we turned it over like 3 times trying to get him a basket. Yeah, they were trying to make it happen. The referee was funny because he came over and he's like, yeah, it was a close one, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, he's trying to score his first points of his career. And he's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, is that your son? He looked at his back and I was like, yeah. And I was like, I had hair back then too. I think the hair, thought my kid was probably bald or something. I don't know. But yeah, so Antonio, yeah. But no, it's he'll get it in due time. It was funny when Steven Izzo scored. So I was texting with Coach Izzo about that, and those are special things. So we'll see. Hopefully he has more opportunities this year, and he kicks one in when he does get one. But I was hoping that they were going to call the foul and put him to the line and see if he could stick a 1-on-1. So, but ultimately came up short. That was the only probably negative of the night. That and our first half defense.